The next stitch that we're looking at is called a back stitch. So again, we've got our needle threaded and we've got one shorter length and then our full single length. So you can actually just sort of make that a little bit closer so that you don't have as much thread to pull through. We've got our knot on one end, and like we did the first time round, we're going to poke it through on that second line. Doesn't matter where, just as long as you've got it somewhere near the start. Okay, and as we did with the first one, we're going to go about a 5mm gap and pull our thread through. Okay, same as what we did the first time, about 5mm along the line and bring the thread through. So no difference yet. This is where we have a difference. This back stitch is generally used so that we end up with a solid line. So instead of coming forward, as we did in the running stitch, we're actually going to go back in the hole that we came up the last one and pull that through. Then, as we did with the running stitch, we're going to guess forward about 5mm, so we have a gap, and bring that through. Then again, back into the hole that we created with that earlier stitch. And then we end up with a continuous row of stitches. Back through, come forward, back through, and again the trick to this is keeping it as even as you can. Try not to pull it too tight that it creates a pucker. So here I've just, that's what I mean by a pucker. So I've pulled that far too tight. So you just loosen that off a little bit. So it just needs to be a flat and even stitch. Now, as you can see, that's had some sort of a little knot that it's not letting it go through. All you do is just pull it back a little bit. It's just gotten caught and it's come through. So sometimes that just gets caught up and you just need to pull it back to the right side so that it allows it to go through properly. If ever you find some resistance, it just means that it's jammed up at the back, See, now it's just twisted a little bit and it's causing a bit of resistance and I can't get it through. I'll probably force it through if I really pull hard, but you'll end up damaging the fabric and creating a big hole. So it's just a matter of pulling it back this way to clear off that problem and pull it through. All right, so at this point my thread is now starting to be the same length. So see how I haven't got a single layer happening anymore? So you just need to pull your thread along your needle so that it gives an extra single layer. Now we just have a little fluff that we need to take off. Okay, you would continue the whole line, but in this case I'm just going to take it through to the back and remind you how to knot. So you take this round to the back, pretending you've finished the whole line. This is how the back of it looks, so it ends up doubling over itself. Okay, and then to create your knot, remember that you're just picking up a couple of the threads in the fabric, not too many. So you can see there that there's probably 2 threads. Pull your needle through until we get a little loop. And we do that one twice on a back stitch. You can bring that one back onto itself. To create your knot. Okay, and then that just gets trimmed.